Hey, what's up, guys? This is Salim Akhmedov. Uh, this is video number 2 of my path to becoming a self-driving car engineer. I just finished lesson 1 of self-driving cars featuring Apollo course. I just finished lesson 1 of that, and that's just the introduction to the course. And I'm gonna teach you guys what I learned in the course, because when you teach something, right? When you teach somebody, you learn it twice. So that's what I'm doing. I provide some value to you guys, and also get some value in return by getting a better understanding of the things that I learned. So there are 3 things I'm gonna talk about today, or 3 things. Yeah, the first one is why self-driving cars. Second one is 6 levels of self-driving cars, and the third one is how do you create a self-driving car, like the core components of a self-driving car, like the basics of it. But that's about it. All right, so I'll record my screen now. All right, so let's just get started. So this is lesson 1, self-driving cars overview. So why self-driving cars? The first reason is because of safety. I heard somewhere that there's over 1 million deaths every year because of car accidents. So that's really bad. All right, we can definitely lower that with self-driving cars. So when it comes to humans, there's a lot of high traffic accident rates with humans, and that's because people get distracted. Sometimes they're on their phone. I see some women actually doing their makeup while they're driving. That's pretty crazy. Of course, you're gonna get into a car accident if you're freaking not paying attention to the road, you know. Or people get on their phones, their friends distract them, or they don't see a car coming. Things happen, and you just get into an accident. And every single person learns to drive from scratch. Okay, that's everybody. I had to learn to drive from scratch, and we all make the same freaking mistakes. Some people make a lot more mistakes, and some people make less mistakes, but we all make pretty much the same mistakes as everybody that's starting to learn how to drive a car. And also, the third one is there's a lot of parking trouble. Meaning, if you go to a mall, there's gonna be a lot of people that come there with their cars, right? They're not Ubering there. They're not taking a taxi there. They're driving there with their cars. So it's really hard to find the spot. It's really hard to find the parking spot, especially on the weekends and when you're going to grocery stores. So there's parking trouble. There's that. But with self-driving cars, it's more reliable driving. Okay, the car is not gonna make as many mistakes as a human because it's not going to get distracted. The only thing that it's focused on is driving. That's it. It's only focused on taking you from one place to another place, which is your destination. That's it. It's not going to text, right? It's not going to text. It's not going to eat food or drink coffee while it's driving. No, it's just going to drive, right? So that's really reliable. And it has a learnable driving system. So self-driving cars, they have a learnable driving system. And that means if one of the cars, they make a mistake at an intersection, then what we can do is we can program it to where that car does not make that same mistake, and we can also apply that same code and update the software to all the self-driving cars and to all the new cars that are coming out. That way they don't make the same mistake as that one car. Okay, so that means every new self-driving car that's out in the market, that's out on the roads, they already know how to drive, right? They already know how to drive. They're not gonna make the same mistakes. They're not gonna have to learn how to drive. They already know how to drive, and it's like thousands of hours because of like thousands of hours of driving, and there's no parking trouble. Okay, for example, you go to the mall, your car just drops you off, and then it'll go do whatever it's gonna do, right? And then when you come out of the mall, you can request that your car comes back, and it will take you back, and then you can get in and drive wherever you want. I think here's a pretty cool idea. The car drops you off at your location. Okay, let's say it's a grocery store, and the car goes and finds a parking spot for you, and it parks there, and it waits for you to request it to come out, right? And then when you come out of the grocery store, you just request that the car comes out, and you just get in your car and you go. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't know if they're doing that right now, but that's something in the future that we can definitely develop and test out. All right, so moving on, there are 6 levels of self-driving cars. Level 0 is just the base. It's us, like it's us humans driving. We have full control of the car. We do everything from turning on the car to accelerating it, to pressing the brakes, to using the wheel to get to our destination. So that's level 0. Right, the driver is the sole decision maker for the car. Level 1 is driver assistant. So I'm sure pretty much just about all the cars out in the market right now, they have some sort of driver's assistance. And this is, the driver is still fully engaged. You're still fully engaged in driving, but you have cruise control. Okay. For example, my brother's 2003 Infiniti, it has cruise control. So even a car that old has level 1 driver's assistance, right? Okay, moving on. So level 2 is partial automation. And this is automatic cruise control and automatic lane keeping. I haven't seen any cars that have this, but I'm sure there are a bunch of cars that have it. So level 3 is conditional automation. This is, oh, what just happened? Let me fix that. Yeah, there you go. So level 3 is conditional automation. This is where the human takes over whenever necessary. So think about Tesla. Tesla has level 3 automation, and I think it's like every 10 to 30 seconds, every 10 to 30 seconds you have to touch the wheel so that the car knows that you're aware, you're awake, you're paying attention to the road. Okay. Level 4 is high automation. So with this, there's no human interference. Okay, the car controls all aspects of the driving experience without any expectations of you interfering with the car, without any expectations of you touching the wheel, none of that. So the car is, it's in high automation mode, right? And sometimes you're going to see cars without any steering wheel, throttle, or brakes when it comes to level 4 automation. But it is restricted within a geofence. So within certain areas, the car it's fully automatic, right? Within certain areas, the car operates autonomously. But outside of those areas, outside of the geofence, outside of those certain areas, the car can't operate autonomously, or it can't even operate at all. Okay, so where we want to go to is level 5 automation, which is the car drives autonomously just as good as a human driver, or even better. And it can go anywhere and everywhere that a human driver can go. So this is the goal. We're trying to get to level 5 automation. At the moment, we're still at level 3 automation, but slowly, within the next 5-10 years, I think we'll be able to hit level 5 automation. So moving on, how self-driving cars work. And with self-driving cars, there's 5 core components to them. So the first thing is computer vision, and with computer vision, you're using camera images. So the car is using camera images to know. So the car is using camera images to figure out what the world around it looks like. Okay, to figure out what the world around it looks like. To know that, okay, that's a car, that's a human, that's a stoplight, that's a lane, right? That's a lane, that's a turning signal. So that's what it does. And then sensor fusion it's how the car incorporates data from multiple sensors like radar and lasers to get a better understanding of the environment, of its environment. And radar is basically, with the radar, it tells you exactly where the object is at, and with the camera, it tells you exactly what an object is. And radar and the camera, so sensor fusion and computer vision, these two right here, they got to work together at the same time. So as radar is looking at an object and it's saying where that object is, at the same time, the camera has to look at that same object and say what the object is. Okay, so first you have computer vision and sensor fusion, and after that you have localization. So after you figure out what the world around you looks like and you get a better understanding of your environment, then you have localization. Then you got to figure out exactly where you are within that world. You got to figure out exactly where you are. Then after that, after you have computer vision and sensor fusion and localization, then you got to figure out where you want to go. Okay, with path planning, you decide where you want to go within that world. Then you create a path to get there. Okay, so that's path planning. After you have, after you know what the world around you looks like, and you have a good understanding of your environment, and you know where you are within that world, and you know where you want to go within that world, right? Then you use the controls, you use the wheel, the throttle, and the brakes to execute the path planning phase. So that's how self-driving cars work. There are five components to it, and that was an overview of what I learned. Basically, this is what I learned in the first lesson. All right, guys, if you can give me some feedback in the comments below, that'd be great. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments down below, and also subscribe. I'm gonna be doing my whole journey on self-driving cars, and I will become a great self-driving car engineer, hopefully a top developer, a top engineer in the industry. But that is it. Thank you, and have a good day.